everyone, Michelle here from Gardening TLC. Welcome back. I am so excited for today's video. Check out the bulbs, you guys. Aren't these awesome? So I've been telling you guys that we're going to have this video where you can purchase bulbs, and today's the day. So not only did I get my hands on some really cool ones, a lot of these are going to be going into my own garden for that fabulous spring show. And 6 people are going to win a collection of these bulbs. So you want to make sure you stay tuned and make sure you get in on the action for that. All right, you guys, isn't this awesome? I love this. All right, let's dive in. I absolutely love the spring show that you get from planting fall bulbs. Yeah, it's a lot of work to get them in the ground. And yes, there's some things that you need to do to make it so the squirrels don't take them and dig them up. If you check out my video from last year, I talk about how to plant them, how to squirrel proof them. You might want to go check that out. I will put a link below. Now, last year we offered bulbs for sale, and I thought that it went over really super well. We sold out of everything that I offered, and so much so that I forgot to pull bulbs aside for myself, and I never got any of them in the ground. So this year I made sure I pulled my bulbs first, so that way, whatever it is that we're doing, I have them in my garden. So there's quite a few of them here, and this isn't every bulb that I have for sale in the store. This is just the collection that I put together for you guys. Now, we are going to be giving some of these bulbs away, and it's not just going to be one packet of bulbs. It's actually going to be like a set of bulbs, and we will have 6 winners. But you have to stay tuned through the video to find out how to win that, and it's a little bit more than just throwing a comment down below. You have to know the secret word, so stay tuned for that. I source all of my bulbs from Netherlands Bulb Company. This is a really reputable company. They're out of the Netherlands, and they're a wholesale company. So even before I owned a garden center, I would buy their bulbs. I used to order like bulk crates of them when I was doing landscaping. So I've been using their products for years, and I think that their bulbs, the quality, it's fantastic. All right, let's find out how to order bulbs. Just in case, because I know some of you are on here and maybe you've never been to my channel before. Maybe some of you are brand new to my channel. I know a lot of you have probably been around for a while. But I do own a garden center. It's called The Landscape Connection. That's why my garden channel is called Gardening TLC. And it is in Rockford, Illinois. And this is where we are selling the bulbs. So if you live close and you want to come and buy some, you can do this right out of the store. But you will not get this price out of the store. You're going to have special pricing just for YouTube viewers. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to call the store and you're going to place an order. The girls are going to take your information, your name, your phone number, your address, and your email. All right, I have to have all of that information. 1, I have to ship them. 2, I have to send you an invoice. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to handle this kind of the same way that we would handle it if we were at a show or a festival and we were selling product. We use a Clover app for our banking when we're out away from the store, and it can generate an invoice and send that to you. Once that invoice comes to you, which will also have the shipping and the tax on it, you click the link and it will take you to a secure portal and you pay there. Once you have paid for your bulbs, shoop, out they go, and the bulbs will be in your hands once you pay within probably 2 to 3 days. Last year, we got our hands on the Proven Winner bulbs that were created in a partnership between the Netherlands Bulb Company and Proven Winners. So they were only available to independent garden centers. We got our hands on some, and that was what we offered for sale last year. Now, there were definitely some favorites, and we're bringing some of those favorites back. This one here is called Blue Wow. It was like my #1 seller. We sold out of it in like 2 days. So this was definitely a favorite. We brought it back. Now, last year, because these were new, they were expensive. They were $20. I think I sold them for $19.99 for one of these packages. Well, it's just like electronics. I think the more something ages in the market, the less expensive it becomes. The same thing, like an iPhone drops in price. Well, flowers and plants and bulbs and trees and bushes, they also drop in price the longer they've been around. So this year, all of the Proven Winner bulbs will be at a significantly lower price. So if you didn't get your hands on some last year, you definitely want in on this year. And just an FYI, I didn't just bring in Proven Winners. I also brought in some tulip collections and blends. I brought in some interesting different kinds of tulips and some daffodils. All right, so that's all the details of what's going on with this. Remember, if you don't want to rewatch this whole video, to find the ones that you love, and today's video is just to highlight those, give you the specs and how much they're going to cost, how many bulbs are in a package, show you what they look like, then you can definitely go to the list. That will be posted under the post section of my channel. So if you want to order, make sure you call this number right here. There are limited numbers of every bulb that I'm showing you. And it's not like there's this endless supply of bulbs. My goal is that I offer this at this great price for you guys, kind of as a thank you for supporting me, watching my channel, and then we sell out and we're done. So without further ado, let's jump in. I thought I would start with the Proven Winner bulbs first. I brought in 4 different tulip bulbs. 3 of them I had last year, and 1 of them is brand new this year. All of these tulip bulbs from Proven Winners are growing in zone 2 through 8, and you're going to get 8 bulbs in each package. Of the 4 that I'm going to show you, in fact, all of the Proven Winner bulbs are going to be $10 a package. That is the most expensive of anything that we're having, but it's still half the price of last year. So I'm pretty excited to be able to offer this price to you. So the first one is the Tulip Blue Wow. This is a late season bloomer, and it's going to grow 14 to 16 inches high. It is a double tulip, and look at that beautiful purple color. Now, another one that is also a late bloomer, it goes kind of hand in hand with the Blue Wow, that is the tulip called Vanilla Coupe. This is also going to be 14 to 16 inches high. And just so you know, most tulips are going to grow in full sun. They will grow in part shade, but remember, they have to have some sunshine to rejuvenate the bulb so that they can energize for next year. Now, another one that we have from Proven Winners, this one is also a double, and this is the tulip called Rococo. This one is only 12 to 14 inches high, and it is also a late spring bloomer. Now, if you're looking for an earlier spring bloomer, then I would recommend the tulip called Renomi. Look at that one. This is a new one that I'm bringing in this year. It's a mid-spring bloomer growing 16 to 18 inches high. Last year, I could not get my hands on any of the daffodil bulbs from Proven Winners. This year, I got my hands on 3 different varieties. There were others available. I just thought that these were the 3 that were the nicest and that I would want to put in my garden. So they're the 3 that I'm going to offer to you guys. These daffodils grow in zone 2 through 10. All 3 varieties are mid-season bloomers, and all 3 varieties grow 14 to 16 inches high. You're also still going to get 8 bulbs in your package, and they're $10 a package. So the first one is called Sunny Day. This is a double daffodil, and look at the inside petals on this flower. It's got like that touch of orange red in there. These are so cool. I can't wait to see these come up in the spring. So this is number 1. And then number 2 are 2 of your trumpet style daffodils. Both have outer petals that are white, but one has a trumpet in the center that is more of a butter yellow, and the other one is kind of a lemon yellow. So let me show them to you side by side, because I think that'll help you decide which one you like the best. So this one is Love Call, and this one is Attraction. Aren't those nice? See how that's more of like a lemon, and this is actually the lemon, and this is like the butter. I just think that these are so sweet, and I love the contrast with the white. They will really show up in the spring. I personally love tulips. I think that they are such a beautiful thing in the garden, especially when you live up in the north and you've just gone through a winter where there's no sun and it's gloomy and it's snowy and it's cold. Oh, you just gotta love that first flush of flowers. One of the things in my garden this year that I definitely noted was my lack of spring color. Part of it's because I get so busy at the garden center, I don't do a lot of planting in the spring. So I've got to up my game by putting things in the fall that will come up in the spring. So I put together 7 different tulips to share with you guys. All of these tulips are growing in zone 2 through 8, and you're going to get 7 bulbs in each of the packages. I did bring in 4 mid bloomers and 3 late bloomers. That way you can kind of play around with the timing of that, because sometimes if you do a late daffodil with an early tulip or a mid tulip, you can get them to bloom at the same time. So that's kind of cool. I like to mess around and create different combinations doing that. All right, so we are going to start with some Darwin tulips first. All of these tulips are going to be $6 a package, and you do get 7 tulip bulbs with each of these tulip packages. Yes, I did say $6. All right, so here you go. The first one is called Helmar. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? That is a beautiful hot pink and yellow two-tone Darwin tulip. This guy is going to get 18 to 20 inches tall, and he is a mid-spring bloomer. That one is gorgeous. Love it. All right, I have another Triumph tulip as well, and this one is also a two-tone, but it's two-tone in the pinks. This one is called Bojangles. Bojangles also gets 14 to 16 inches high and is a mid-spring bloomer. My last Triumph tulip is called Match, and I love the look of this one. It looks like they painted on that white at the bottom of this beautiful, it's kind of a hot pink tulip. I really like it. This one is growing 14 to 16 inches high, and again, is a mid-season bloomer. My last mid-season bloomer, coming in at 12 to 16 inches high, is a fringed tulip. This is a purple circus. Isn't that so cool looking? I just think that this is going to be such an interesting tulip. I have the perfect place to put this in the garden. I also brought in 3 late bloomers because sometimes we want the show to keep on going. So my first one is a black parrot tulip. Isn't that cool looking? I love this. 18 to 20 inches high. So that's fairly tall for a tulip, blooming late spring. I also brought in what's called a lily tulip, in that the tulip petals kind of radiate out like a lily does. And I brought this one called Purple Doll. Isn't that great? I love this. So this one is growing 16 to 18 inches high. And again, this is a late bloomer. My last tulip is called Queen of Night. And I think this is probably a super, super dark purple, but it almost looks black. And you gotta love it when you can bring in something that creates that kind of drama in your garden. And oh my goodness, you could contrast this up against so many other colors. This is a taller tulip, 22 to 24 inches high, and again, late spring bloomer. So all of the tulips that I just showed you, remember they're $6 a package. You get 7 tulip bulbs in each package. Next, I have 3 different daffodil bulbs for you to choose from. All of these are growing in zone 2 through 10. And again, these are $6. You get 7 bulbs in each of the packages. So the first one we're going to do is called Pink Paradise. I love this one. It really has that beautiful peachy color. And then look at the darker center on there. This is a double daffodil. This is a mid-spring bloomer, and it grows 12 to 14 inches high. The next one is also a double, a pure yellow. This one is called Golden Ducat. I love this one. And this is also a mid-season bloomer, 14 to 16 inches high. The last one is also a mid-season bloomer. And the reason I chose mid-season is for those of us in the north. The early ones seem to always be taken out by like a late snow. And so I found that if I start going after mid-season ones, they seem to last longer in the garden. But my last one is really interesting. Look at this. You get a lot of little different flowers all on one stem. This one is called the Capatiti Peach. And again, it's got that white outside edge with that beautiful blush peach in the center. 14 to 18 inches tall, mid-spring bloomer. And then just look at those little trumpets all over one stem. I think these are so cute. So that's it for the daffodils. Next, we're going to look at the blends. I like tulip blends. I like that they blend them for me and I don't have to do that. So I have 5 different blends that I'm going to share with you. All of these tulip bulbs are growing in zone 2 through 8. Now you're going to get 12 bulbs and these are $8. You're going to get 6 of each color in the blend. I think that these are really cool. So we're going to start with some Triumph tulips, or the Darwin tulips. And I have a purple blend. And I love that they take a tulip like this and it looks like they took a paintbrush and brushed strokes of this color into this tulip. I just love it. So this is a great blend. This is going to bloom in mid-spring, 12 to 14 inches high. Isn't that one great? This one is called Purple Blend. This one is pretty exciting. I really like this one. So this is the Oreo blend. How cool is that to have a black and white tulip together? This is a mid-spring bloomer and it's going to get 12 to 22 inches high. This one, oh my gosh, it is really going to stand out in the garden. You just wait. I am planting this one. Well, I'm not telling until we do that video, but isn't this cool? My last Triumph tulip, or the Darwin style, will be the Jellyfish blend. And I think you're looking at this going, doesn't that look like the one you just held up? No, it's different. And I'll hold them up side by side so you can see. But this one is also a mid-spring bloomer. These guys get 18 to 20 inches high. So it is a little bit taller. But see, if I put them side by side, see how this is more of a purple and this is more of a pink? And I don't know if it shows up on camera that way, but this one really is more of like a hot pink, whereas this is more like a purple. I have 2 more blends that I brought in, and these are doubles. I love double tulips. They are so cool looking. Isn't that a great blend of tulips? So this one here is called the Amazing Double Blend. They grow 16 to 18 inches high, and they are a mid-spring bloomer. Now I'm gonna hold up the next one next to this one, but this is actually, the next one is a late spring bloomer, and it's got some white mixed in. Isn't that great? This one is called the Double Dutch Blend. Right here, this one. I like this one too. Oh, so awesome. So this one here, the Double Dutch Blend, gets 16 to 18 inches high. And again, this is the late spring, this is the mid spring. But aren't these beautiful? When you walk your garden in the spring and you start to see signs of life, when the tulips and the daffodils start to produce those little sprouts. That's what it's called when they come up out of the bulb. And that is our secret word, sprout. So what you need to do is some way, somehow, use that word in your comments down below. Everyone who uses the word sprout in their comment will be entered into a drawing, and we will draw a winner for 6 people to win a bulb package. Now, these winners have to live in the continental United States for me to be able to ship their prize to them. Today is October 1st, 2025. We will announce the winners on Monday, October 8th, 2025. You will not be notified in any way whatsoever via email, text messaging, Instagram, anything like that. We will list the winners in the comment section of this video, actually on Monday morning. We will also post a post in posts. Does that make sense? Post a post in posts on this YouTube channel of who the winners are. You will have 7 days to claim your prize. Once you claim your prize, then we will ship it out. You have to call the store and verify who you are, and the girls will have specific things that they ask you to verify that, and then we'll ship your bulbs out. So how exciting is that? Make sure you use the word sprout. Now, we do have 2 other bonus bulbs that are going to be available for sale. Are you ready for those? Last 2 bulbs, the first one being from Proven Winners, and it is an allium. You're going to get 2 bulbs, and these are $10. So that's $5 a bulb. But oh my goodness, alliums are so cool if you can grow them in your garden. They do need full sun because they definitely need to rejuvenate for that next year. So this is called Party Balloons. Isn't this cool? I love this. It's going to get anywhere from 16 to 24 inches high. It does need full sun, and it's going to bloom in late spring. But I wanted to give you guys a visual of how big this flower gets. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm a visual person. All right, are you ready? All right, look at this. All right, there's my head. There's the plate. This is how big the flower can get on these, 8 to 10 inches across. That is huge. And it grows in this big, glorious sphere. I cannot wait to plant these in my garden. Also, I didn't say these party balloon alliums grow in zone 4 through 9. The last bulb for your garden is a Mediterranean bulb, and I'm going to attempt to say the Greek or Latin or whatever it is. All right, oh my gosh, Nectaroscrotum siculum. I have no idea if I said that right, but it's a Mediterranean bough. Aren't they cool looking? These grow in zone 4 through 8. They get 32 to 38 inches high, and you're going to get 12 bulbs, and these are $5. So there aren't a lot of these. So if you want to try this fun little plant, you need to get this one in your order pretty quick. There you go, the 2025 bulb collection for fall. Make sure you call this number right here, get your order in. Make sure you use the word, the secret word, in the comments down below to get entered into the drawing, which we will do on October 8th, and we will announce the winners then. And I hope you get your hands in the dirt today. I'm Michelle, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.